Look, let's move on from the Bondi Massacre and Australia Day. It's that time of year again where we discuss how Australia Day has been cancelled by yet more institutions, and this time it's Melbourne University. Now, they have taken Australia Day completely off their official cultural event calendars. In fact, the list of events they are recognising include International Day of Yoga, 21st of June, in case anyone was wondering, and Transgender Day of Visibility. There are a couple of faculties that do mention January 26th, but only as an Invasion Day or Survival Day. So they're completely putting it, obviously, a very negative and one-sided spin on what for many and most Australians overwhelmingly is a day of celebration of Western civilisation.
We just have to move past. We are such a culture that is obsessed with apology and looking back and making everyone feel guilty for being born here or for coming here and not being the original owners of the land. And I think we need to stop that. And especially in universities and in schools where they've all got their ideological activism and almost they're teaching history in the way that they want to see fit. And I say to everyone, they all need to read Tony Abbott's new book, because it is a very, very well-researched...
Watch the Sky News documentary.
Yeah, exactly, which goes very nicely with it, because it's a really good way of looking at Australia's history so that we are proud of where we live. Let's bring back the pride in our country. Be proud to have the flag hanging up. I'm so sick of us having to...
I mean, it doesn't just start at a university level or even high school. It's in preschools and kindergartens now. There's always was, always will be some form of acknowledgement to country every day. It is really, by the time they get to school, primary school or high school, they've already been indoctrinated to one level.
We always talk about the example of when our kids, when they were in Melbourne, and he was very little but couldn't identify the Australian flag but could identify the Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander flags. And I remember saying to my husband, "Oh, we've got a very big problem here." And it's because they get taught from such a very young age, and they do the acknowledgement to country every day. They hardly ever sing the anthem. So you're right, it starts from very young.
Well, this report has an Adelaide childcare centre, Freya, that calls it Invasion Day and not Australian Day anymore.
It's so ridiculous. When I was at Sydney Uni, the SRC, the Student Representative Council, they would call Australia so-called Australia.
Oh my goodness.
So any statements in so-called Australia, even after the Bondi Massacre, the SRC released a ridiculous statement. They said, in so-called Australia. Oh, come on. We are sick of this garbage. But in better news, if you are looking for something to stream, something to watch, a groundbreaking new documentary is about to be released, and it's all about Melania Trump in the 20 days leading up to Donald Trump's inauguration. This is the highest, most expensive documentary ever made, costing 60 million Australian dollars, and it's pretty incredible.